Hello, family. Welcome back. I wanted to share some things that have blown my mind the past few days as I've worked to create lessons for Creation Standard. And focusing on intelligent design is something that people act like will stunt your growth in learning. However, I'm learning more now than I did as a science teacher because as a science teacher, we have a set of standards and we teach to those standards year after year. And what I'm finding out is that our standards are not just telling lies about evolution. They're not just telling lies about what we live on. They're lying about so many different things, things that seem innocent, things like DNA that I've been teaching a certain way, following the standards, pulling up science videos, being force fed information, and then regurgitating that to students, thinking, well, this has to be figured out. Everyone's teaching it as if it's fact, similar to many other lies out there. But the fact is, I've been lying to students without even knowing it. No matter how hard I have tried to shelter my students from the lies, I'm also contributing to those lies. And it has to do with DNA. A lot of people say it's this double helix twisted ladder structure, and you can use models of it, and there's all sorts of cartoons of this stuff. There's no photos of DNA, the double helix. You can look into that yourself. But the structure itself, for one, was never discovered. The people made a model. Two people literally just made a model similar to this. They made a model and said, that's how it works. There you go, working model. Boom, we discovered it. That's not how you discover something. You have to be able to see something. If you're discovering new land, you at least need to see that new land in some way or another. And so they didn't discover the double helix. They literally just made a model of it. And that's not how deep this lie goes. It goes far deeper. It takes me back to the Human Genome Project, something I had yet to research, and looking into that has just opened my eyes to how much we don't know about the complexity of our genetics. I used to refer to them as being like computer code. That's a lie too. Your genetics is far more advanced than a computer code because we can look at a computer code, or certain people can, I can't, and tell you what that does. We can't do that with DNA. It's just impossible. It's too advanced. And so the four-letter code, they say, and I don't even like saying that now. It's hard to even know what to say because so much stuff has been proven false, and it's updated information. It's stuff that has been updated because research proves that it needs to be updated, but the textbooks are going to keep having that same age-old bias information that makes things like DNA just seem figured out and simple and not as complex. And so I want to show you something about the Human Genome Project because I was always under the impression that they mapped out the entire genome. Sounds like that's what they did. That was kind of the major accomplishment. And let's listen to what this video I was sharing with my class says about it because this video has a lot of really intriguing information. But one thing they said about the Human Genome Project was this, and here it is. It's called The Secret Life of Cells. So here's the portion of the video.
The year 2000 saw a major scientific breakthrough: the completion of the Human Genome Project. Researchers were successful in mapping all of the genes in human DNA, the unique code of our cells that makes us human. The news rang out all over the world, and the results were presented by the then President of the United States, Bill Clinton.
Without a doubt, this is the most important, most wondrous map ever produced by humankind.
Let me just stop the video right there because they claimed that the entire human genome had been mapped out. But check this out. I was looking into it further, and the people who are behind it, the National Human Genome Research Institute, look what they say. Here's their bold question. Did the Human Genome Project produce a perfectly complete genome sequence? No. No, it didn't. They have been saying that we have for nearly 20 years. And this here tells us throughout the Human Genome Project, researchers continually improve the methods for DNA sequencing. However, nearly $3 billion later, they were limited in their abilities to determine the sequence of some stretches of human DNA, particularly complex or highly repetitive DNA. So there's complex parts of the DNA that they can't look at and figure out and study with their billions of dollars, people from many different countries working together. We have yet to map out the entire human genome. This is according to them. That just shows you that false information can be spread by reputable sources And I'm not dissing the video that I'm sharing. This video that I'm sharing with my class has some really good top-notch research and things going on. I'm not saying it's really good as if like modifying life is good, but they are showing us what we don't understand about life. Things that I've been teaching as if we do, like how many cells are in the human body or different types of cells. You go to the internet, it'll tell you there's about 200. But these researchers who are doing present day research are trying to make an atlas. This is very similar to the Genome Project with the goal of making an atlas of all the cell types in the body, as in we don't have them yet. And so this human cell atlas, that's what they're calling it, is going to be one that hopefully answers questions. And I'm not going to say it does. I don't trust the research anymore. This is why I have trust issues, because we're still mapping out the human body. We haven't figured it all out yet. How crazy is that? You would think that we have. But they tell you in this video, these world-renowned researchers, that no, we don't know how many types of cells are in the human body. And even in the brain, we're figuring out there's possibly thousands of different types of cells in the brain, which seems to be a no-brainer because the brain itself isn't the same on the front as it is on the back, or this side as it is on that side. Different parts have different functions, so they're going to need different types of cells. Not just every cell is a brain cell and they're all created equal. And so we are still trying to figure out how many different types of cells are in the body. The internet's going to say 200. That's a lie. Another thing in regard to that DNA that I thought was mind-blowing is that DNA doesn't do like they say it does. I've been teaching that they call it the central dogma of DNA is that DNA makes proteins. You know, there's transcription, translation, you go from DNA to RNA to protein. Sounds simple. Sounds like you got it figured out. That's a lie. 98 to 99% of your DNA, they're saying, thanks to the Human Genome Project, they're finding out, does not code for proteins. Most of your DNA doesn't do that. I know this is probably not news to some of you. It's news to me because I've been stuck in a classroom where we're forced to look at the same standards all the time and plan everything around them. And so it stunts our growth. Being interested in intelligent design doesn't do that. Intelligent design forces you to look at what we actually don't know about life. And I'm finding out there's a whole lot that we don't know. And so that's one thing I wanted to throw out there. Another one is your white blood cells. If I asked you what they do, most of you would say, these unique cells just go around like hunting like Pac-Man for invaders. That's partly true. However, they're finding out that these unique cells, when they look at them with special devices, they're not just waiting around for invaders. These things scan the insides of your veins and arteries at every part of your body. They are working, but they're scanning the interior walls of your arteries looking for damage, and they can fix them. Little repairman that you didn't even know you had hired, doing work because of that breath of life that's guiding them. It's wonderfully made, like David said, and it's really blowing my mind seeing them do that, watching them crawl along the edge. And not only that, if there's damage somewhere else and they all need to work together, they can use the arteries and veins as a highway after a signal is sent, they say, to go to certain locations. Could you imagine navigating inside of hallways that were shaped like all of these veins and arteries you see here from the human bodies exhibit, where they tried to separate as many of them as they could? Of course, you can't get all of them from a human body and put them on display. All those little veins, your little white blood cells in there, if there's a problem somewhere, they can travel through these essentially without eyes, without walkie-talkies. There's a signal sent. They can go to a certain part and help out. If that's not intelligent design, what is? My goodness, I'm in awe of the things I'm learning just from focusing on intelligent design. This is how school should operate. This is how learning should take place. But we're putting our Father's creation in a box by sticking to bias, outdated standards. And so it's phenomenal the things that our Father has made. We don't have it figured out. None of us do. Worldwide efforts, we don't have it figured out. That is impressive. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. It makes me angry because I've been teaching lies, not knowing it, thinking, oh, this is stuff we have figured out. It's innocent. It's not. It's designed to make creation look less complex. And so the analogies I've been giving about computers and genetic code being similar, they're not. So I'm wrong for saying that. It is a metaphor, so we know metaphors aren't exactly true. They're somewhat fictional, but nowhere near close to computer code. And that's just the beginning of the story. There's far more to it. And so I wanted to share that, but I also wanted to give an update for Creation Standard. It's been 3 weeks already. We're at the end of the third week. We're about to start week number 4 next week. And what a blessing it has been. It's been work. It's a lot of work, but the Father has been bringing the best of his inheritance this direction. And I'm humbled by the work they've done. These students have done work that I have yet to see in terms of quality in all my years of education. And I see it and I just get teary eyed because it is so good. The enthusiasm, there's that stigma with people learning from home. It's illegal in a lot of places in the world. But I'm here to tell you from experience as a teacher that the learning environment is unique. There's students wanting to come to class. They'll go to one class and the live lectures will cover the same things, but they're wanting to come back and learn more and join in and have discussions. It's amazing. I've never experienced anything like it, and I don't think there's much like this out there in the education world, and it is a great blessing. And so those of you who have supported this important mission, this unique mission, I thank you because it's allowed us to work and focus on the work at hand and not worry about all the distractions and the hate and the criticism. It's been a blessing. So thank you for your support. You know who you are, all of you who have helped. If you still want to help, you still can. There's lots of things we could do with your support to help grow this and to get extra help in addition to just me and my wife doing this. She's, of course, been doing a lot of the administrative stuff and registration and all of that so I can focus on lessons. And so that's why I look pretty exhausted, being that it's almost Sabbath. It's Friday right now, and the sun's about to set here in a little bit. As I'm filming this, of course, I'll put it up later. It may be Sabbath when you guys get it. But wanted to share those things, give you a quick update, and just let you know that it's been humbling finding this stuff out over the last couple days because it now requires me to change lessons that I had already envisioned and planned on putting out. Now I have to go and redo things. Our cell unit's going to look entirely different. So I'm hoping that going through all of this stuff will help not open just your eyes, but my students' eyes and other science teachers out there who have been just repeating the same stuff because it's on the standards and it's going to be on the test. We're stunting our growth. Wake up, people. We need to learn the truth. It's more important than standards and keeping a job. We have to really focus on our Father's truth and bringing it to light so that our children can see it and their children can see it. If the world lasts that long, we'll see. I have a feeling we're quite a bit closer than most people think, but who knows? Calendars are just a totally different topic in general. And so a lot of people are investigating that as well. I feel like we're close. So it's time to get ready, live right, seek the Most High, the one who has extended his great mercy time and time again. He had to reach down low to pick me up off the gravel that I felt like at times. I know that I'm not as worthy as the gravel around me that I'm down here in because of the pain caused by this world when I did not lean on him. And so lean on him. He's not going to fall away. If you lean on the world, it will fall away. So just know that. Be careful what you lean on and make sure if you are leaning, it's the right direction in the Father's direction. So hope this was a blessing to you guys and eye-opening. It has been to me. And we love you. The Father loves you. We'll see you next time.